How many of y'all watched the Super Bowl? Yeah? Or no, Kendrick fans or Drake fans? Drake? Awesome. So this video I just found for y'all is gonna basically, it's gonna,
Sorry, is this?
yeah, go ahead. Oh. Who said they were a Drake fan? Who's a Kendrick fan?
SZA fans stand up.
Oh yeah, right on. There it is. Okay, so this video is basically gonna go over what y'all are going over today, but it's a little twist to it. There's a reason why I asked y'all for the Super Bowl, so I hope y'all enjoy.
Can y'all see?
Trigonometry is hella useful when we're dealing with right-angled triangles.
Drake, let's label each side first. You, of all people, know the longest one. There. It's called the hypotenuse, so let's pop an H up here.
Then if we have an angle like this here, we can label this closest side to it as A. This is because it's adjacent.
Fancy way of saying next to.
Last of all, we got the opposite side. See how it's kind of opposite that angle we got? We'll just put an O here for opposite.
Now check this out, G. You ever seen sin, cos, and tan before?
Yeah, I've seen them, but I don't really know what they do.
Well, if we put this angle into any of them, what they'll give us back will actually equal the length of one side of the triangle divided by the length of another side.
Me and my buddies remember which is which by using SOHCAHTOA. The S here stands for sine of the angle, which is O divided by H.
And C is for cos of the angle, which equals A divided by H.
Oh, and so T, which is tan, must be O over A.
That's right, dog.
Remember SOHCAHTOA, broski.
What's trigonometry?
Hopefully that made you understand a little bit of what we're gonna go on today. So. Okay, cool. So y'all have y'all's notes, right? From yesterday, the balloons? Alright, so we're gonna just go over a couple of examples that she left for y'all. Alright. So what was the acronym that y'all all learned from the video? There's three of them. Exactly. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and apply it to this triangle right here. And then y'all see there's A, B, and C, correct? There's three A, B's, and C's for the angles and for the sides. So what is the angle we're given?
36 degrees.
Cool. And what's another like fancy word that they use for that? Close. They use a little fancy word. Starts with a T.
Theta.
Theta. There you go. So that's gonna be our theta. Alright. So if we already know our angle, right? A, which is theta, and it's 36. So let's go ahead and write that in. So A is going to be 36 degrees. Alright. And then also, what other angle do we know? If it's a right angle and there's a square on it.
C.
Exactly. What's the measurement of that angle?
90 degrees.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and put 90. So if we have 90 and 36, what can one triangle equal? All of its angles inside. So how are we going to be able to find that side? Or that angle, sorry.
Add 90 and 36 and subtract that from 180.
Exactly. And what do we get from that?
54.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and write it in. What do we also know from the triangle? There's a side that we know. Say it again. And what's the measurement? Perfect. So that leaves us with only two sides, right? To find. Which one do y'all want to find first? A or B? A. Okay. So if we're looking for A, right? We are looking for the opposite, and we're given that adjacent, which is 10. So which one has opposite and adjacent? O and A, using these tops right.
Tola.
TOA. Now what's the T in the TOA?
Tangent.
Tangent, exactly. So let's go ahead and write that out. So we got tangent. Sorry, I have terrible handwriting. So you got tangent of 36 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent, right? So what's opposite of the angle 36? Say again? A. Okay, so if A is the opposite, what's adjacent to the angle 36? Remember, adjacent is another fancy word for next to. Say it. Exactly. So what do you think that tells us? If we have two variables, what did we do? Was there an error that we did? If y'all chose A and then you said adjacent was B, right? What do you think we did wrong? Because tangent is opposite and adjacent, right? So there is an issue that y'all did. I want y'all to catch it. Try and think. If we wanted A, what other one should we have used? Say it. I think someone said it. Not sine. If we wanted to find A, and there's a hypotenuse. Wanted to find opposite hypotenuse. It was, you said cosine or sine? Choose either. It's either one of those, guys. Y'all gotta be confident with yourself. Not cosine.
I think it's fine.
It is sine, correct. I didn't want to correct y'all because I wanted y'all to see and understand it. So let's go ahead and scratch it up. So then, if it was sine 36, right? Is equal to opposite, which is A, over hypotenuse. What's our hypotenuse? Good. So how do we get A if we have it set up like that?
Multiply 36.
You multiply, but not the 36. Multiply the 10. Correct. So let's go ahead and multiply the 10. Multiply the 10. So A is equal to 10 times sine of 36. Go ahead and put that in y'all's calculator. Tell me what you'll get. And make sure it's in degrees and not radians. Do you remember how to change that? Times sine of 36. 5 point what? 87? Did everyone else get that? Yes, good?
Sure.
So 5.87. Then you have two other ways that you can solve to get B, because that's the final one we have, right? If it's a right triangle, what theorem have y'all learned? Pythagorean theorem, right? So you have to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's square rooted, right? Yeah, you get. All right, we can do that, or what did we just learn? That this side of the 36 theta is. What is it called if it's next to the angle? The fancy term.
Theta.
Not theta.
Adjacent.
Adjacent. There you go. So if we want to find adjacent. And then we also have the hypotenuse. Which one's that one? Adjacent and hypotenuse.
The opposite.
Cosine, exactly. So let's go ahead and write it out as cosine of 36 degrees is equal to, what are we trying to, what's that adjacent? What's adjacent to 36 degrees? What's next to 36 degrees? No. Just look at the sides. If I have 36, what's next to 36? B, exactly. So go ahead and y'all put B. B over, and then the hypotenuse. What's the hypotenuse? Correct. What do we do now?
Both back and both sides.
Exactly. And what do we get for B? Yell it out if you're
8.09.
8.09.
I didn't do it. I got the chance.
Okay, awesome. Is everyone good? Or y'all need me to leave it there longer? If y'all need me to tell y'all what says what, let me know. Are we good? Everyone good? Alright, go ahead and turn the page. Or we're gonna do a little word problem. So I'll go ahead and read it out to y'all. It says, a biologist wants to know the width of the river to study the pollutants in the water. From point A, the biologist walks upstream and sights to point C. From this point, it is determined that theta is equal to 58 degrees. How wide is the river? So if we have the model, right guys? I'm gonna go ahead and just bold it so y'all can see it better. What's the angle we have?
58.
Say again?
58.
Exactly. So we have theta is equal to 58, right? And what are we given? We're given one side measurement.
The opposite.
We're given the opposite?
Adjacent.
Adjacent, exactly.
Jason.
Because it's the one next to it, right?
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So if we have adjacent, what are we gonna try? What other, where's W at?
Opposite.
Opposite. So we need adjacent and opposite. Which one has to deal with that?
Told you.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and write it as tangent of 58 is equal to, what is it equal to again? Tangent
4/8.
over 8, which is,
Opposite over adjacent.
exactly. So let me write it as W over, what's the adjacent? What's the measurement?
100.
What's the next step, guys?
Times 100 by both sides.
Say it again.
Times 100 by both sides.
Exactly, let's go ahead and do that. Times 100. Times 100. And what is W equal to?
160.03
160 point, is that in degrees or radians?
degrees.
Degrees? 160 point, say again?
03.
03. Does everyone understand? Everyone good? Good. Got a question? Sir?
That's it.
What's up? Good? Alright, cool. Alright. All of y'all picked up a sheet, right? Sir. It is a lot easier if y'all use a separate sheet of paper to draw the triangles, because it can get confusing.